Starting the recording. Fine. So you can see yesterday we had session on how to set the position of window. I'm going to start my Eclipse. Fine. I have downloaded Selenium 3.5. It's working fine in my system. You can see I have downloaded 3.5 in my system, and I'm keeping all the important files over here in this src, and I am uploading the files onto GitHub repository, so you can get it from there as well. I will share the location as well, so you can get the codes from there as well if you want. Fine guys. So today we are going to see more topics on Selenium. Okay, window handling. This window handling is August. So I can see dimensions on web element dimensions. I have already gone through. Now I will see the point class P. Where I have kept, it is not there. So no problem, I will recreate it. Just right click, not right click, because I have to write all such things from the very beginning. So I will take one example like copy and right click, paste, and I am giving here point class, OINT point class demo 1. Yes, it is there. Fine. So again, I'm going to cover new topic on point class, so that's fine. Thank you for informing me. What I'll do, I will keep it here. So yesterday we seen how to get the position of window, and how to set the position of window. Yesterday we seen via set position, and we seen it via two ways, one via this way, new point, and you are passing the object over, or either you are creating one variable or passing the variable into set position. So there are two ways to set the position. We'll see more topics. What I'll do, I will copy this one, that would be fine. Right click, copy, right click, paste. So that's fine. Number 2, we will cover more topics today. Say that we have the position. Now after setting the position, I want to display the value of the position onto the console. So how I am going to do that? So this is the way to set the position. Fine. And now you want to print the value on the console. So driver dot find, not find, driver dot manage dot window dot, if you will see over here, there are methods like one is get position and one is set position. Fine. So you just need to write position dot po dot po. So you can see now I'm getting like get position. So get position, its return type is point. You can see over here return type is point. And if you will print it directly, you can print it like see so. You just print it directly. And let's see, since the value is minus 2000 and 0, and if I'm going to print it, what is happening? Just see over here. So I'm minimizing and maximizing, and if I am printing the value, so it's coming like minus 8 over here. Fine. So let's copy this, and after each step I should get the printed value, like what is the current value, and again run this code. So this time it is first time it is printing like minus, oh, due to this it is printing, let me comment this, so should not confuse. Fine. First time it is printing minus 2000 and 0, and second time when it is maximized it is printing minus 8 minus 8. So via this you are getting the value. If you want to maximize, so you can like comment this code, and you can also use like minus 8 and minus 8. So this is one idea like you will get, and you can use that idea too. And after that, like again, if I am enhancing the code like that, you can see get position is returning the point type, so you can directly store it somewhere and also print, but I am using directly over here, control C control V. And if you will put dot operator here, you can see you are getting the x coordinate and y coordinate over here. So you are printing x coordinate this time. Again copy this code, and you can print directly via dot operator. You can print the y. Again, if you will copy and paste this line of code, you will get the position of any window. Say that dot get x and via dot get y. Dot get y. So you will get the same value, but let me modify, because due to this value it is coming over here. Let me comment this, or let me activate this, that would be fine, because after maximize I am printing one time, that is also fine. And so I will explain the code one by one as well, but let me modify. After line number 36 these values will become, and due to maximize like minus 8 will become, and after like setting the position like 150 and 500, see what is the value it is coming. So get position will give you like 150 500, and after that x like 150, due to y it will give you 500. Again get x will give you 150, and get y will give you 500. So point class can be used for window and web elements. So this was one concept which I was using for like window, and in next session I'm going to give the example of like how you can use point class for any particular web element. So let's run this code and see what is going to happen. First, it has been minimized, then the position is set. So you can see the values are printed over here, and due to that. So let's close this window, and you have seen like examples of point class for getting and setting the position. So I have set the position, and after setting the position I have got the position and printed it on the console. Now again, if I want to use point class, so there could be multiple scenario, like how I'm going to use it. Let's remove this line of code because I need Facebook demo to cover. Say that I have opened the Facebook. Let's explain what I want to do. So Facebook page has been opened, and suppose someone has asked you that how we will find the position of any web element, like x coordinate and y coordinate of any web element. So take any web element, like I am taking this one, that example, that should be fine. Inspect. So inspect, right click, inspect, that is coming over here. You can see over. It's not visible. So let me expand it. So maximize, right click, inspect. So it's like highlighted over here. So right click and copy. Say that I am taking X path. That is fine. And question is that dimension we have seen earlier. In yesterday class we have seen the dimension, like it is 194 into 39. So I am okay with dimension, but what is the position of this web element? How you will find the position of any particular web element, like on which x coordinate and y coordinate it is lying. So we are going to see the example of that. I've just copied the x path over here, and I will find the web element of that x path. Fine. So like driver dot find element by dot xpath, and let's copy and paste. One thing about Chrome I want to explain: when you will try to find the xpath, the value should be like value will be coming in double quotes, which you will have to modify to the single quote. Fine, because xpath is always given double quotes, so previous double quotes has should be removed, and later on double quotes you can use. So I have modified. Fine. So it's completed. So this is one web element, and this web element is like that, this one. Fine. I've just taken one example. You can try it out at your home if you want to find the multiple locations, multiple things. Why I wanted to do, I wanted to store it somewhere into local variable. Say that Ellie mate. Let's give one name, the shortcut, and create one local variable. So it's a web element type. You know it's a web element type. Fine, because find element always give you web element. Now via this, let's take system. See, so fine, and I am like just copied and pasted here. If I will print the particular web element, you can see you will get the web element reference. So it's coming over here, right? Chrome driver, all such thing it is coming. You can see the information it is capturing, it is showing over here. But what I wanted to do, I want to get some more information about this web element. So via dot, you can see get location is there, point, and its return type is point. You can see over here return type is point. So point class, via point class you can get the location of any window and you can get the location of any web element. So I'm using get location, and this time if I am going to print it, you can see over here it is coming as per like dimension is giving you the height and width of the particular web element. So in interview they will be asking how you are going to get the height and width of the element, how you are going to get the position of any web element. So position, for getting the position you will have to use get location, and for getting the size you could use like get size. Fine. And again I am coming over here, it's like simple, it is return type is point, and if you want you can use it in this way like get location dot, you can get the x. So it's like return type is integer, so it will print the single x variable, x coordinate. If you will again use this, and you can use like that dot y is also there, you can see over here. Again dot get x get y. So in 4 ways you can find the x and y coordinate of any web element. So if next time they will be asking in interview, you could answer the how we can get the location of any web element and size of any web element. So size is for dimension and location is for point. So two classes I have introduced, and this like interview question is very important. They will be asking, just like run this and observe here like what are the values coming. So you could see like 598,201. So this is the location via x coordinate and y coordinate is it is coming over here. So this was one concept. Like I'm moving further and I want to explain you the concept of frame. Like what is the frame? So because I was studying somewhere for explaining the actions class in Java, Selenium. So using actions class further, you need to know the concept of frame. Fine. So let's go to one site. It's a jQuery UI. JQUE. QU. You could see this is a very good site over here, and suppose that like there are concept of frame as well. So if you want to perform something like draggable, so you can see a frame is appearing here. If you right click and inspect, then you will come to know about frame concept. Let's scroll. See here, this is iframe. This is iframe. You could see over here. This is one example of iframe. The tag is iframe. Fine. So how you are going to use that iframe concept or frame concept? So there are 4 ways in which we can handle the frames in Selenium. One is like frame. First, like inspect the frame, and once the frame is inspected, like try to get like ID is there or not. It's like web element. So web element has some like attributes and properties. So try to look out like what are the attributes and properties given there. So whether it is having you can say whether it is having like ID. So ID is not here. Whether it is having name. So name is also not here. So third method is like indexing. So when there are multiple frames, you could use index like 0, 1. Index will start from 0. So for this frame, I can use index. Fine. And fourth way is like just right click on that, copy and find the XPath or like CSS selector. So fourth method is like trying to get it as web element. Just via driver.find element you can get the web element, and via web element like variable you could also handle the frame. So in four ways we can handle the frame. One is like via ID, one is like via name, third is like indexing, and fourth is like via you can say web element. So I'm just taking one example like you could say I'm taking CSS selector. Fine. And frame, there's also example of frame I have taken, but I will use like separate. Right click, copy, right click, paste. I'm giving here frame demo. So site name should be changed. Let me copy and paste so that this time just taking one example, draggable. So after that what I want to do, you could see I want to switch to frame. Fine. And after that I want to get this element. Say that right click inspect, and there is something maybe like drag me around, it's coming over here. So I want to print the properties of this element. So this is also one web element. Later on we will see like it's a case of mouse, so actions class is also involved. But suppose that I want to get the properties of any this web element. So how I can do that? So first like I will have to move to this frame, and after that I can get the properties of this web element. Say that right click inspect, and this like text is coming, drag me around. So suppose that someone told you like this is the web element present in any frame, you have to print the properties of this web element. So how you are going to do that? First like look for frame, right click, copy, as CSS selector I have taken over here. So once I will be landing on the page, what I'll do, driver dot find element by dot XPath, and in that I will paste it. Sorry, this is CSS selector, no? I've taken CSS selector. CSS selector. Fine, and I will have to paste it over here. And just so I will also explain what is coming in the CSS selector value, so that you should know what is happening. So it's like ID, first go to that web element whose ID is content and go to iframe. So how it is handled, like you will ID, go to that element whose ID is content. So content you can look over here. So content ID is content, so that web element which is having ID is content. So might be it is upper side, I'm not able to see, but what is happening I can explain you. So first go to that web element whose ID value is content, and after that greater than symbol, and after that frame is coming. So let me get that web element, say that ID is content. So yeah, because level is changing, no? Just let me. So ID is content. Content wrapper, it is here. Okay, no problem. Like you can get the web element in this way. So this is the web element for frame. You can say this is the web element for frame. So I will give it a proper name like frame name, or you can say frame frame value. I can give you example frame value, and I will store it somewhere local variable. So I have got how to get onto the frame. So via this value I can go to the frame. Again one parenthesis is missing over here. Fine, so that's fine. Now what I will do, I will use driver dot switch to dot frame. You can see like there are multiple ways in which you can handle the frame. One is like indexing, one is like value, whatever the values you are giving, say that name or ID, you can pass over here. And if you are having web elements, you can pass it web element argument. Fine. And you just need to pass this value. So you are passing as a like you can say passing as a variable. So you don't need to put like double quotes. You can see I have now switched to the particular frame, and same line of code I can use like that, and I can use index. So index is 0. Fine. So both are going to do the same work, but let me comment. I will show you one by one. Fine guys. Now I have switched to the frame. What I have to do, I have to locate this web element. Right click, inspect. I inspected, and after that right click, copy, like I'm using CSS selector. Driver dot find element by dot CSS selector, and in that I can paste it. So it's showing like first go to draggable, then go to P. What it is showing? It is showing first go to the element which is having the ID as draggable. You will see over here the ID is draggable. ID is draggable, and after that go to P element. So P is after that. You can see if level is changing, so P it is coming inside the this element. So that's why the locator is giving like that. First go to the element whose ID is draggable, and after that go to that element whose tag name is P. This is tag name, so tag name is P. I have like gone to that element, and I will store it somewhere. Like give me the name as draggable equal to, and just like a mouse hovering, and I'm getting it as a web element. So now I got this web element. Fine, I got this web element, and I want to print the text what is written over here. So how I'm going to do that? See, so via this element dot get text. So via this element and get text, I can print the text. So first it will open the site. After that it will find the particular frame, and after that it will switch the frame, and after that it will find the particular element, and after that it will print the text it is with what is into the particular web element. So let's close earlier browsers so that not to confuse. Right click, close window. Now let's run this. Right click, run as Java application. So I have put like wrong URL, so that's why it is failing. Okay. So now again run this. This time again. One more mistake. Let me correct. Now it's fine. It will run. Site has opened. So you can see it is coming over here. Now again one thing. I have gone through this method. Let me comment this. Now this I will uncomment it, and I will see whether I am able to use this or not. So like basically both options are there. You can use anyone. So this is also coming, but you will see if I want to, again I want to click on droppable. So I will have to use one trick, because droppable is not inside this frame. So when you want to come out from that frame outside and perform any action, so you will have to use one trick here over here for frame, and after that you can use, say that driver dot switch to dot default content. So this is the way to come out from any frame to the parent window. Fine. So this is one way to come out from any frame to parent window, and after that you want to perform any operation. jQuery I just closed by mistake. So this is droppable, right? And you want to click on droppable. So right click, inspect element, right click, copy as CSS selector. So when you will come out of the frame, then you are able to perform any action. I have taken driver dot find element by dot CSS, and I will paste it whatever the value I have copied. So how this CSS is coming? It is coming as, first go to the element whose ID is slide bar, then again go to the element who is having the tag name as a side, and nth child, it means if there are multiple elements, then go to the first element, then after that go to the UL, and after that go to the LI, and in that nth child 2, and LI tag, it's the tag name, LI is tag name, and colon is like if there are multiple, then you can use like that. So let me first inspect and then I can explain you. So how the ID is coming? First go to the element whose ID is sidebar. Go to the ID whose ID is sidebar. I can see sidebar. Yeah, you can see. Go to the element whose ID is sidebar. After that, go to the element whose tag name is a side. Let me open and then I can explain you how CSS selector are like being written and generated. Go to the element. You can see over here element ID. This element whose tag name is div but ID is given. So it is directly taking ID is sidebar. And after that, go to the web element whose tag name is a side. And suppose that a side has multiple. So under a side there are multiples. So it is telling like nth child first. Nth child first, it means the first child I am going inside, and after that it is saying ul. Go to the element whose tag name is ul, so I am into the ul tag, and after that it is saying go to the element whose tag name is li. So there are multiple li's, so multiple li's. Go to the element whose child number 2, so it is coming into the child number 2. You can see over here, so in li it is coming into the child number 2. So that's why it is written over here, and after that it is saying go to the a tag. So it is saying that go to the a tag. So that's why it is traversing from here to here. You can see from here to here, this is the first, from where it has started and it has traversed to the this location. So this is one way like how we are going to use the CSS selector. Fine. And I have gone through that web element and I want to perform click operation. So I can perform click. And let's run this code and see whether it is going to work or not. You can see site has opened. First it has printed drag me around, and after that it has clicked on droppable. You can see over here droppable. So it's coming like droppable. So if I will comment, suppose that I am into droppable, and if I directly want to click on I am into draggable and directly want to click on droppable, so manually I can do that, but via program you can see it is allowing me or not. So let's run, because that is out of the frame. So out of the frame, like you will have to use default content. It is failing. You can see over it is failing. It is failing. Exception is generated. No such element exception. So this is the trick, and this is the very important trick. If you are handling multiple frames, then you will have to use this concept. So again you want to switch to different frame. Say that if you have clicked on droppable, fine, and again you want to move to particular frame. So how you are going to do that? Again you will have to use simply this. I think the frame name should be same. Just right click and inspect. So this is the frame, right click and like copy and CSS selector, fine. And let's paste and compare whether it is same or not. So it's same, right? So if you are like sure it's same, so you can use this concept. Fine guys. So you can see I have switched to this frame. Again I want to perform some operation. So this is like drag and this is drop. You can see this is drag and this is drop. So I will use action class over here to perform further operation. Like this is drag and I want to drop it here. So first, like get the ID of drag and then move to this location and like drag it, drop it there. So right click over here, inspect. I'm getting the element, like right click, copy, XPath. I have taken the XPath. I'm pasting it somewhere. So this is the element which I have to drag and where I have to drop, like this here. Inspect, right click, copy and XPath. I'm taking XPath this time. You can use any locator as per your convenience. Fine. So what I will do, I will first generate two wave elements. Say that wave element le4 is equal to driver dot find element by dot XPath, and in double quotes I will have to provide the XPath and I will pass draggable over here. And if I have like used Chrome, then I have to modify this as well into single quotes. Always remember this. Fine. So semicolon I am putting. Let's give it name as drag. That would be fine. So I have generated one wave element for drag. It is going to give you error. Why it is going, error is coming? Let's see. Fine. So there was some earlier which I have already used, so that's why it was, so due to this line of code it was going to give me error. So I am using, like, give the name draggable. So I am going to drag this element and I am going to drop it somewhere. Let's copy and paste it over here and give the name as droppable, D-R-O-P-A-B-L-E, droppable. And now I will have to modify this, cut it here and paste it here. And again I will have to modify this as a single. So I have created the wave element and I'm going to perform some actions class on this wave elements. Fine. So I am like dragging it and dropping it here. So you can see first I have to create actions class, actions act equal to new actions, and in that you will have to pass the driver. What you have to pass? Driver, because you are passing the reference of driver, so that now actions class will take control and it will perform the actions, because earlier whatever the actions you were performing via driver. So now actions class is copying the reference and it will using further actions. So now I have generated one reference variable for actions class, and via this reference variable and dot operator I will be able to perform. So you can see drag and drop. So drag and drop is there, like one method is there in which you have to pass two wave elements. One is source and one is target. So source I have created. So my source is this one and my target is this one. Fine. And after that you will have to use perform. If there are multiple actions, you can bind it via build and perform. And let's run this code and see how it is going to work. First it is opening like website and it has performed all the actions. You can see drag and drop has been performed. And let me explain one again what is happening. So let's select all, Control Shift F. I have organized the code as well, and I have opened in line number 18. I have opened the particular website. I have got the web element for frame, and I am switching to the frame via indexing. I am performing some like you can see get text operation, so that I have to find the particular web element, and after that I am printing the get text over there. Again I am using like driver dot switch to dot default content. So coming out from earlier frame, from this frame to this point I want to perform some actions, so I'm using like driver dot switch to dot default content, and after that again I'm using like source and destination I have to use. So first I'm clicking on this web element. So in line number 32 I'm clicking on this that particular web element. After that again after clicking I am switching to particular frame because I have to perform some operation. So I'm switching to frame over here. So in line number 34 I'm switching to particular frame. Now I have stored two variables, one is like draggable and one is droppable. So draggable is this one and droppable is this one. So I want to drag it from here to here. So how? This is the mouse action, and driver.find element is not able to perform. So we will have to take like help of actions class over here. And again via actions class reference like ACT reference I have created, and via drag and drop I have passed one draggable and one is droppable, and after that to complete the action you will have to use perform, and we have performed the operations. So there are multiple which you can try, and you can like reach me out if there is any query for the same. So today's we have covered like point class for getting the position of windows. We use point class for getting the location of any web element. We used like concept of frame, and like we perform more actions on actions class. So this was all about today, but for frame I will be coming back with some more examples because I have to show you IDs, I have to show you like name. So you can take one site, that is also good. This is the selenium hq.org, right? When you will go to Java doc, right? So there are frames. Try to click on this element. Fine. Again try to click on back. Go to this frame. Again then try to click on back. Then go to this frame and again try to click on this. Again try to click on back. And you could count the total number of frames as well by using like find elements, and tag name should be frame. So when you will like inspect the particular web element, inspect, you can see frame is there, right? Frame, src, name. Yeah, name is given here. So you could use name over here. ID is not there, but frame name is there. So in this case you can also use frame name. So this is one site I found it very good, and it's related to selenium as well. So you can use like frame name, or frame name is not there, then you can directly copy and get the web element like CSS selector and other. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining today's session. And that was all about today's session. I will record it. I have recorded it and I will post it in the Skype group. So if someone has missed, they will be getting this session. Thank you.